So hello friends, in this video I am going to show you how we can call BI report in OIC. So first I will talk about some prerequisites for that, what kind of required information we should have before going to create integration. So we have some basic requirement that first we need to have a existing BI report so that we can get the path of that BI report. Then we required report XML output and WSDL link to call BI reports. Then after we require user ID password for Oracle Fusion application, in which application we have BI reports. Then after we required opaque schema, opaque.xsd schema, and then XSD schema of our reports XML file. So first let me show you the report. So if you will see, we have report, this report, I have name of this report is inv_rpt_dt. It's data template. So first I need to get the path of this report. So how we can get the path of this report? So as you can see that from where we have saved this report, we need to go there. So for checking that report, we need to go to catalog, and in catalog, you can check the where you have stored your data template. So you can see that this is my report. So I will click on this more and click on schedule to get the complete path of this report so that there should not be any mismatch. So what I will do is that this is report path. I will copy this report path, and you can see that I have already mentioned it here. So here, this is the same path, but I will use double quotes because in integration, we use double quotes to enter this value because it's considered as a string. So these things we have completed, we should have report XML. So as you can see that this is our report. So I have already downloaded the XML of this report, right? XML of this report. And next is WSDL link. So as you can say, this is the WSDL link to call BI reports. Simply you can search on Google, you can get this path. So this is the postfix. This URL will be the same for all. So actually this is the complete path for WSDL, and this is my URL for Fusion application. Fusion application, right? So I required this one, or if you will see, then after we required Fusion application user ID and password, then opaque schema and XSD. So I will show you from where you can get. So suppose you have downloaded the output of report in XML, then now you need to create that XSD schema. For creating XSD schema, we have this free website, right? freeformatter.com. We have other website also. So I suggest you can choose whatever you want. So here I will go and I will choose XSD generator. So here I will upload XML file and it will create XSD of that XML. So here once you upload it, so I have already taken this one. So you can see that this is the XSD file of this one. So I have uploaded the XML of my report output, and it's generated this one. So I save it here by any name, just like I have said XSD file.xsd. So you can save whatever now. Next required is opaque schema. So opaque schema is nothing, it will help to decode base 64 code into our required format. So as you know that when we are calling BI report using SAOP UI, its result is give result as a byte code in base 64. So we need to convert. That's why we require opaque schema. For this, you can reference here Oracle docs. You can see that they have mentioned here opaque schema. So here you need to copy and create one file with this data and save as .xsd. So all requests we have completed. So let's get started with integration. So this is my homepage for creation of integration. So I will click on this task icon and will go to integration. And first I need to create connection. As you know that in integration we are going to use connection. So first I will create connections, right? So I will create two connections. First connection will be REST and second will be SAOP. So REST connection will help, right? REST adapter connection will help to start the integration, and that SAOP adapter connection will help to call the BI report. So as you can see that I have already created. So let me create from scratch. So you can see that I will click on create and I need to select REST. So select REST and give the name of this REST connection. So I will give Z REST connection 02. And here you can see that we have 3 roles for the connection. Role is the trigger, invoke, and trigger and invoke. If we select trigger, it means that we are going to use this connection in initial phase, in starting. We cannot use this connection in mid of that integration. So we select trigger. And we have invoke, it means that we can use this connection between the integration. We cannot use this invoke type of connection in a starting of connection integration, right? And we have trigger and invoke, and this trigger and invoke can be used in starting or can be used in between the integration anywhere. So as I know that this REST connection is going to use only in a starting, so I will select trigger. You can see the name or description, whatever you want, and just click on create. So once you will click on create, it will create the page. So you need to select here security. So in security policy, I will select basic authentication so that I can enter username, password for that. So just first test your connection and then save. So as you can see that this connection is tested, I will click on save. And it's also saved. So I will go back and create another connection that will be SAOP connection, adapter connection, so that it will help to call BI reports, right? So I will search SAOP. You can see that this is the SAOP adapter connection. Actually, this is the adapter, and we are going to use this adapter in connection to create, right? So click here. In SAOP, we will enter paste the link. So I will show you complete, right? So here, what it will be the name of the SAOP connection. So Z SAOP SAOP connection 02. And here, yeah, I will select trigger this connection as a trigger and invoke, because I can only use invoke also, right? But I will select trigger and invoke so that I can use whenever we want as requirement. So just click on create. So as you can see, or you are aware about that, we are going to create this integration to call BI report, right? Call BI report. So I will create connection integration. In that integration, I will use this SAOP connection to call BI reports, and it will return base 64 output in base 64 code. So we will use a stage file to convert that base 64, then display, right? So here I need to insert WSDL link. So I have already taken WSDL link as I saw you earlier. So here, so remember, first, before going to insert, right, we need to verify that WSDL is working or not. So for verifying any WSDL link, just need to insert that link in URL, and it will show you that XML format. It means that this WSDL is working. So just click here, and here I will enter WSDL link. And go down, you can see that this is the security option. Again, I will select basic auth, and I will enter user ID and password. So this is my user, and this is my password. Here, now what we need to do is that we need to click on test. As you can see that here is agent group, right? So we are not going to use this agent, because this agent is going to use for like when we are going to create connection between any on-premise system. So we are going to use. So right now we don't have any requirements. So first we will test. If everything will be okay, it will be so successful, then we can save. So now test is completed. Now we will click on save. So this is configure this connection, and we will use this connection in integration. So let's start with integration. So we have created this two connection, Z SAOP connection 02, Z REST connection 02. So we will use this both connection. You can see the status of this connection is configured. It means it's successfully, there is no any error. I will click on this integration and will create the integration. So here I will click on create, and I will select app driven orchestration, right? So just click on select, and here need to give the name of that integration. So I will give name Z BI report call 02, right? You can give any name, and that identifier should be you no need to write enter anything in identifier. It will default create. But remember, this identifier will not be same as earlier. Name can be same. So if suppose I have already one report with the same name, so identifier will be here same and it will generate error. So whatever, I can put any values so that it can be random. So right now I don't need anything. This is the version by default. It's version 1.0.1.000. You can change the version and nothing, no need required to enter anything. Here we can enter keyword so that if we will search, it will just like tag. It can help to search our this can integration. Here you can enter the package name. If you will enter the package name, it will store all your created integration in same package. So I have selected oic.zephyr.bi. It will help us to integrate this integration to other system and like import and export, right? So just click on create. It will create a new connection, and now in this integration, and now in this integration we will use connection. So here, as you can see that this integration is created, it's default. You can see that there is nothing in this page. So what I need to do is that first, it's not looking like good. It will go like down horizontally, vertical. So I will select horizontal so that it will look like easy, good. So first I will click on this plus icon and I will select my REST connection. As I told you that REST adapter connection is going to use to start the integration. So I have created this REST connection adapter. I will click on this one. It will be selected here. Now here we need to configure. So here they ask, what do you want to call the endpoint? Any connection or anything we are going to use that is called endpoint, remember. So I will give name just like start, start REST. So I can give description. You can skip it also. It will use to start integration. Click on next. Here they ask some values, right? What does this operation do? You can insert or you can skip anything, right? So suppose I will get mentioned that my report is related to item status. So I will get mentioned there item status, right? Oh, sorry. Here we have to choose operation name. No, okay, we will choose next. Yeah, down here. So we have taken item details, and this is the endpoint. So it will endpoint URL. So whatever I will mention here, it will reflect in our URL once integration is created. So let me give you that /item details, right? And then we are going to use this REST to start the integration. So I will use post here as we are going to post that. Here we have 3 text box, right? First text box will help us to show the dialog box to enter the parameter. So I didn't require, I will use this as this parameter using the query. So I will skip it. This 2 I need to check. This 2 will show that configure a request payload for this endpoint and configure this endpoint to receive the request response. So once I will click this here too, it will ask the request payload for request, ask payload for request and response. So I will assign that. So just click on next. Here, as you can see that we have soon, now we have to select JSON because I am going to insert payload format in JSON. So just here click inline and need to insert the JSON payload for request. So for request, I have one parameter in my query. So I will insert the parameter. So here already I have written. So here you can see that this will be the parameter and 00. Here you can skip this. While running, you can insert this value, but I have given, for example, just click on OK. Now next you can say you have to click on next. And then after again, we have to select JSON for response payload. You can see that here, select the response payload format. Click on inline. I have created one inline payload for response. So you can see that this response is nothing. This is the structure of my query result. So as I have told you that in my BI reports, there are this much of columns there: transaction ID, sub inventory code, transaction date, and these things. So as response, I need this much of column. So I have created this one. Now I will insert here and click on OK. So right now it's submitted. You can see that if you will done any error, any mistake in this response, like sample payload, it will generate error. Suppose I have given equals here, so it will not submit, it will generate error. You can see that this is the error. So I need to remove this and I will click on OK, it will save. Okay, so it will save. So here you can see the element of this response payload is element response wrapper, right? So it will help next. So now it's completed. Now click on next. It will show you the summary. You can see the summary, JSON post payload, and click on done. So now our REST endpoint is created. Now I need to add our SAOP adapter connection so that it can call the BI report. Sorry, this is the last, so I have put it here. So between this start adapter and this mapper, I have to add all this our requirement or attribute. So I will click on this plus, or I need to add SAOP. So Z SAOP connection 02. I will select it here. Now it will ask the name for that endpoint. So I will give call BI SAOP, call report SAOP. It will easy. REPORT report SAOP. So it will call the BI code and generate response in this 64 code. Click on next. Here I need to select the method in which we are going to call the report. So here you can see that this is the run report. It will help to call the BI report. So just select here. You can see that this also is everything already. Click on next. Here no need to configure anything. Just click on next. Now you can see that in summary, everything is clear. If anything, any error will be there, it can show here. Right now, everything is okay. So just need to click on done. So now I have added, sorry, it will be more lengthy. So I have added the SAOP adapter. Now I need to create connection of this for this SAOP adapter. So that I will click on this mapper. Whenever you will add any connection, it will comes with their mapper. So just click on this mapper, click on the edit icon and just start mapping. So for mapping, if you will remember, once you are going to call report by SAOP UI, you need to enter some values as a parameter. So what I will do is that if you will see in request wrapper, we have our parameter values, right? Whatever we have assigned at the time of giving sample payload, same payload for request. So now just expand this body, run report. Inside that run report request, click on this. Here we have list of values. So what we need to do is first we need to map this parameter so that we don't need to enter manually. So here we have parameter name values. Just click here, items. Here, this is the name of parameter and this is the value of parameter. So we need to map this value with this value. So first we need to expand this now. This is mapped successfully. Now what we need to do is that we need to enter the name of parameter. So this is the name of parameter. Right click and create target node. So here it's in view only mode. So click on here so that it can be visible for editor mode. Just enter parameter name in double quotes, P_INV_ORG. This is my parameter for report. Click on this tick to save. You can see that there it means that your value is successfully added. Click cancel. Now we need to enter absolute path. So here you just right click and create target node. Here we need to enter the path. So for enter the path, I have already taken the path. This is my report path. So I will copy this report path and will insert here and just click on tick. It will, you can see that here A is written. It means everything is okay. Just tick and close. Now we have given the path. We have given the name of parameter. We have given the values of parameter. Sorry, this is the name, value, or parameter name. Sorry, yeah, this is the parameter values. We have already attached map. Now it's last, we need to assign this size of data chunk download. So create a node and we need to insert it here -1. Remember, whatever we will insert, we will use in double quotes for that. Just click and cancel. You can see that here it's a written. So everything, my mapping is completed. Click on that validate so that we can check that mapping is, everything is okay. Mapping is validated and ready to use. Click on close. So you can see that once we have validated that, they change the color of this map. You can see that this is the map start red. This is not mapped right now. So this color is this white, and now you can see that this is the blue. So our BI report call is done, right? So now what we need to do is that we need to add a staging file from where I will use the output or response of this SAOP report call. So here I will click on this and I will select in stage file. Stage. This stage file will be type of write because this will write the base 64 output of our report. So I will give name write stage file, anything. It will store the report output in base 64, and here we will give that opaque schema so that it can convert that base 64 to any desired output. So click on next. Here what we need to do is that we need to select a write type because we are going to write values in this stage file. So here click and give the name. So I will give the name of that file and it should be with extension. So I will say stg file. Sorry, write stage file. Write stage file 01.xml, right? So that it will create temporary file with this name. Right? Click on save. Okay, and exit. So here you can see that name is specified. And now we need to insert the directory. So whatever directory we want, we can insert. So suppose I will give write stage directory 01, right? Double quotes, save. Okay, exit filter. So now this is completed. Click on next. Here they will ask that simple. So here I will select XML, right? XML simple document. Click on next. Here we need to insert that opaque schema so that it will be help to convert that our base 64. So click here, as I have already created opaque file, opaque. So here I will select opaque schema. Open. It will show you. You can see that they default mention that opaque element and all everything, right? So click on next. And now you can say this is the summary. If you will click on this schema, you can see that opaque values. So this is the XML XSD file for converting the base 64. Just cancel. Now we need to click done. So once you will click, you can see that they have created one mapper for this stage file, right? So what we need to do is that we need to map this stage file, right? So just click on this edit icon and we need to map this stage file with byte code of SAOP response output. So this is the call BI report SAOP response. I will expand this report, run report, response, run report, and that this is the report byte. So this store the base 60 values of our report output. I will map this with opaque schema element. So now mapping is done. You can see that. Now click on validate, click on close. Now it's time to, here in this stage file, we receive the report output from like SAOP UI. Now we have to convert this report output from base 64 using this file, and we'll need to insert from in any other staging values. So we need to create one staging file here. So here it will come plus icon anywhere. Yeah. Click on this plus icon, again select a stage file. Stage. So you can say that this stage is of write type. Now we need to create a read type stage file so that it can read the value from this stage file. Click on this here and give the name. So I will give read a stage file. Description, it will read the data from write stage file by conversion of base 64 using opaque.xsd schema. Click on next. Here we need to configure the stage file operation. We will select read entire file. Once you will select read entire file, you have two options. You need to assign file name and file directory, or directly you can reference the file. So I will click on this configure file reference. Yes. So it will remove and it will open the box for reference. So I will click on this edit icon and I will get the response of this one, a stage file. So here, write a stage file. So what right now I am doing is that I am going to link this write a stage file with read a stage file so that I can get the value from write a stage file into read a stage file in our format, whatever format I will assign. So next I will give format, I will show you. So here, click on here and you can see that file for reference here. It's coming, it will come, just wait for a while. So here, write a response. There is some internet connectivity issue, that's why it's taking time. So click on this exit builder, again click on the here. So this is my file, click on here. This is the ICF file, right? So remember this ICF file. Click on here. It will expand and it will show you the file reference. And I will drag this file reference into this expression builder. It's again taking time. Click on cancel, again click here. Yeah, sometimes it's creating problem. So don't worry about that. Click on there. You can say this is the file reference. So you can take the like check from where this file reference is coming. It's coming from response of this write stage file, right? So I will click here and I will drag into this one. So you can see that this is mapped. Click on save, okay, and exit builder. So now you can see that it's coming from reference here. Now click on next. It will ask the schema. So I will select the XML schema because I required output in XML. So here I have selected XML schema and already I have shown you that I have converted my report XML output into XSD using free formatter, right? This one, right? So I will upload here. So I have already saved this XSD file.xsd. I will select okay. You can see that this is the schema, that data underscore ds. I will map this with last staging file. So click next. You can see the structure here. By clicking, you can see the this much of my column, transaction IDs, transaction sub inventory code and all. I will map this, right? So cancel, click on done. Now everything is done. We received the data, actual format of data in read stage file. Now I need to like what, map this read stage file with this starter mapper, right? So what I will do is that, let me use structure so that it will look good. So I will click on this map. I will click on this edit button and I will map each and every column. For mapping, I need to expand this response wrapper and click on expand data. Here you can see that all my columns. So here I will map this data with my data set that is earlier. So where is my read response? This one. Read stage file response, click expand here, expand, 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 yeah, this G1. So here we are not going to use any parameter right now because this parameter is only used for response request, right? So here we don't have parameters. So what I will map is that I will map this G1 with data and transaction ID with transaction ID column, sub inventory code with this sub inventory code, transaction data with transaction data, transaction quantity with transaction quantity, transaction type with transaction type, organization code with organization code. This one, locator with locator, item number with item number, serial number with serial number, and transaction status with, let me remove this, transaction status with transaction status. So now my mapping is done. Every column I have mapped. Now click on validate. So I have done the validation and it's already ready to use. Click on close. My basic integration is completed. Here, what we have done is that, let me explain. First, I have started the integration using REST API. And then we have created call that use SAOP Adapter Connection to call the BI reports and map that each and every column with here using this map. So here map, I have given what kind of a structure I will follow, what kind of values I require to call BI reports, and what kind of a structure this SAOP will return as a response. So everything I have mentioned here. And right now, if you will see, I have mapped in last this one. So this actually, this column is going to map here. Now what I have done is that I have created this STS file, and this STS file is going to map with BI SAOP adapter using this mapper, so that whatever values this comes in response, we can convert this response here. Now we have created another STS file. In this STS file, we have base 64 response, right? Now using that opaque, we are going to convert and storing it here, right? Now we have mapped this value, whatever response here, we have mapped using this, right? So now everything is done. You can see that here is one error. This error is related to tracking. So we need to enable the track before running the integration. So what you need to do is that I need to click here in action, click tracking, and select whatever parameter or anything here, field, and click on save. You can see that it's removed the error. Now I need to save. You can see that after save, it said that successfully and you ready for activation. So I will activate this integration and I will run that integration. So done. So this is my integration, ZBI report call 02. I will activate by clicking here, and I need to enable tracing, enable include payload, and click on active. So you can see that my integration is activated. Let me check. I will run that integration. So here it activated, click on test. So here you can see that in body, I have whatever, like I have given this response, right? So it's showing here. I can change the value here. Suppose I have given 002 and I will click test. Once I will click on test, it will show the output. As in last, I have selected XML. So here you can see that this is the status, everything. Whenever you will run any integration, it will generate one instance, activity instance. And here by clicking on here, you can track each and every step result, whatever is there. So you can see that here I have given 02 as a parameter response, and it's giving request and it's giving the response in a structure format, whatever I have given here. You can see that I have uploaded this format, right? Response format. So I receive data in the same response format, right? You can see that here. This is data. So if we have mapped data, you can see that we have mapped data earlier. So this is the data and this is transaction ID 19097. If I will change this to 01, it will give me response in data related to 00101. And cancel. Here you can see that it's 1927 and all this data, right? So my integration is completed and it's successfully working. Suppose if I will give any wrong values, suppose this value, it will generate error. You can identify where is the error, in which stage that error occur. So here you can see that we got error while call report SOAP. So once you will click here, you will get to know the error related to that, whatever is the error. So you can see that it is application error and what error is invalid parameter requested. So everything you will get from log. So this is the basic integration to call BI reports. So thank you so much. Okay, bye.